right, everyone, it is time for an Astro update. So back on the 12th, Mars moved direct at 3:56 p.m. and that's Eastern time. You will have to adjust for your time zone. But this is changing the energy a little bit because even though he's going direct, he's still going to start out slow, which is really hard for Mars, especially being in the sign of Gemini. Um, Air in a fire sign really likes to go quickly, but here he's been a little messed up because he's had to go retrograde, and it's just he's having to go back. He can't go forward like he wants to, and it's frustration. So if you all are feeling some frustration and feeling like there's things that are going on and just you just seem you're trying to move forward and you feel like you're not making progress, but you are. So this is kind of like that energy. Well, as he goes direct, the energy will begin to move, but it won't move as quickly as we would like it. So, this is a good thing because Mercury is still in retrograde, and he'll be in retrograde until the 18th, and that's when he goes direct. So here, we need to go a little slow because Mercury is a trickster and he loves to play little games on us. And, they're not funny to us, but in a broader sense, I guess they would be, like miscommunications and things such as that. But I will say Mars going direct will help the energy, but we need to go slowly because remember, there's a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of other aspects that are happening, especially when it comes to being disillusioned, to being distracted, and our attention pulled somewhere else to pay attention to this when there's something else going on. You always think of the street magician, right? He wants you to pay attention here because if your eyes are here, you don't see what's going on over here, right? If you're here, you can't see what's going on over there. So that is that energy. Now, I do want to correct something. I was watching my video, and unfortunately, I'm the one that edits, so sometimes I do make mistakes. I'll slip up. I want to say that I did say in my last show that Venus was squaring Mars, and that's not so. Venus trined Mars on the 9th of January, and I said square, so I do apologize for that confusion because it changes the energy of that dynamic. This is the divine feminine and divine masculine, and when they are trining each other, they're helping each other out. So this is about harmonizing and finding solutions. And I do believe I said that on there, but anyway, I want to correct that, and I do apologize for that. So the biggest thing here that I really want to relate to you all is that we can't go worry crazy over the things that we can't control. Now, of course, we need to be prepared. Of course, we all do. But in saying that, we also have to know that there are things that do happen, and we need to be prepared. We need to be, ready to face those. But we also have to understand how we can be our own worst enemy. When we have Mars in Gemini, this is putting a warrior in between two siblings, two brothers, two sisters, and so forth. Our brother and sister, this is siblings. Well, and these are twins. The Gemini are the twins. So this is bringing war in between that. Now, coupled with Mercury being retrograde, this can cause also the frustration that's happening. This can also cause a lot of heat ups and flare ups in between those close relationships. So be careful there. Watch out for that. And we can also see all of it playing out. When Venus trined Mars, this was not only was it harmonizing energy, but it was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call that things are just things are out of balance, and that they need to be pulled back together. Things, too far one way is just as bad as too far the other way. It's about coming together and finding that medium so we can all happily coexist together in harmony. This is solutions to problems. This is or even a solution to people that are problematic that's in your life. There's a lot of people that just they exude drama, and we have to figure out why that's happening. Now on the 12th, the moon moved into Libra at 9:56 p.m. And again, that's Eastern time. So that is aiding us to balance our emotions. That was that help. And Mars in Gemini, it can be very stimulated and distracted. So it's about there needs to be a point to where we stop and get busy on those things that really matter. There's a lot of little itty bit things that are problematic, yes, but those have roots, and we have to get underneath that, and we have to figure out what is going on. It's about getting busy and fixing it. It's not about back and forth. It's about, okay, this is the problem. Okay, where is this coming from? Okay, let's fix it. It's like when you find a water leak in your house, you just don't start, beating down all the walls till you find it. You do some kind of recon work. You have to figure out, okay, what's up? What's with this? And so forth. So also, another aspect we need to look at is Venus square Uranus. And this, again, this is about stop and we have this need for control in our lives. We want to control how everything goes. And our routines are wonderful. They kind of help us stay focused, and they help us stay in aimed at where we are wanting to go. But also, if we keep if we put blinders on, we fail to see what's going on around us. So stop trying to control everything. Venus wants to have fun, and Uranus says, in order for you to have fun and to fully live the life that you want to live, you are going to have to release all of the BS that's going on in your life. You are going to have to stop, and you are going to have to make the changes that need to be made. And that's a lot of the problems that people don't really want to. And I can be this way too. When I say this, I'm not preaching. I'm part of that. I'm human. And we always want that easy way. We always want that easy peasy way, right? And it's not always that way. That those challenges really teach us. Venus in Aquarius is very loving. It's kind-natured. It's charitable. It's very that Venus in Aquarius. Aquarius is about the people. So Venus is about love. It's about giving love to the people and to those bigger things that matter, not just the selfish needs, but the bigger things that matter. But this is not emotional though. So because Aquarius, whereas it's for the people, it doesn't have that emotion. It can be kind of cold. But it's not meant to be that way. It's meant to be it shows you that fairness in all relationships is required. And this is all of them. Fairness. What is fair? What is what's good for the goose is good for the gander kind of thing. And this goes into other things. Laws for thee and not for me. We have to make sure that we are paying attention to that, because we can get to that kind of mindset of, do as I say and not as I do. And that's one of those things that that really have misled us into understanding a lot of that. How would you say, taking personal responsibility. So let me get on here. Fairness is here. Also, Venus in Aquarius is about personal freedom. Personal freedom to do what you need to do to spread your wings and fly. And this is about in in your relationships as well. This is, um, freedom is within Venus's heart and mind here. So, and this is relationships that allow you to be free, that allow you to be yourself. It's really hard for people that are coming from, when they come from some of the mainstream religions and they come over to like a pagan path. They really have a hard time with that concept because of the change. Whereas the pagan path puts responsibility into your lap, and it offers you that freedom. You have the other side, that those people that are coming from those mainstream religions where things aren't quite as free, that it's more limited, there's limitations. And going from that one place of limitations to you have to make the boundaries yourself, it can be very overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, and it can be very shocking for some people. So it's about learning how to release that need to control, and just live. um, Also, this is enjoying your interest. When Venus is in Aquarius, if you want to paint, paint. Enjoy your interest. Enjoy those things that bring you happiness, and art and beauty and those kind of things. Meeting new people, hanging out with your tribe. These things are all inspired when Venus is in Aquarius. So, and this is more on the side of friendships, okay? Not really romantic, but this is more like friendships. And, your mind, with Venus is in Aquarius, her mind really isn't on romance. Um, this is about connections that she can make that will help her go forward into the future, that will help her advance in her life, to grow and to expand. Okay. Now, Dark Moon Lilith, I spoke of Dark Moon Lilith a little bit, and she will, I do want to add something really quick before I go on to Dark Moon Lilith, that Venus as an Aquarius is a very, very good placement to making your dreams come true. So manifesting, that kind of work. So if, when Venus is in Aquarius, that is a good time to make that happen. So now let's go on to Dark Moon Lilith. Now she is moving on the 8th, January the 8th. She moved into the sign of Leo. You love Leo energy. It's warm, it's charming, it's the king, right? So she is coming out of a lunar sign because she's coming out of Cancer. She's moving out of Cancer into Leo. So she's moving from that lunar energy into a solar energy. And this is a shift. So she's going to be bringing into light injustices that were made against the family, against the women, against children. So in Leo, she wants to come to her power and her purpose, because Leo is the sun. It's about, that inside, living from your purpose. Okay, that soul, that essence that you have within you, that pull. And she really wants to live her life, the rest of her life in that, so to speak. So this is when we are stepping into the light and wanting to live our life purpose. We also have to understand the shadow part of ourselves. And, that's one of those things that go back and forth, because some people will think about the shadow, maybe it's not a good thing to go there, but I feel it is. I feel there's many things that go behind this. There's many teachings out there that you can find about this. I really enjoyed Debbie Ford when she did her work with the shadow. She did a lot of work to help people come out of that and work through their addictions, through those darker parts of themselves that, they thought were bad, and they learned, and she helped people how to make those shadows her friend, and to understand that we have this light and dark energy within us, and we are better when we learn how to harmonize those energies instead of letting one go rampant and cause destruction in either way. It's good to live in that harmony, and um to not be our own worst enemy. So this is also, when Lilith moves in, when she moved into Leo, that is also triggering our creativity side, our self-expansion, our life energy. It's bringing her awake to, Lilith is known as the woman, as the wounded feminine, the feminine that was cast aside because she would not bow, she would not be submissive. Um, and this is a big part of her myth. She has many myths out there. And one of her myths is that she was cast because she would not be submissive to the male, to that patriarch. So, that's very hurtful. And that energy, a lot of people can identify with that energy that have been shunned in their life for any kind of reason, whether, it being a woman, it not being a woman, and so forth. A lot of us can identify with that feeling of being shunned because we don't fit into this mold that certain people think that we should fit in. So we can see how much trauma that can cause within, because many of us have lived that. Many of us have been shunned because we were not part of that clique that we were supposed to fit into. So, self-expression, that's what we came here to do, to live our purpose and express that inner part, to live life and to be a human. So we are shining here, and we can have some, we can have those lingering thoughts of going and having fun, and how that feels, and to release that, and to really shine our unique expression with the world. So we do have to watch out for the ego with Lilith in Leo, because she's someone who is, when you have that that woundedness, sometimes you can carry a grudge, you can have that chip on your shoulder. So with that, you can carry on a huge ego. So with Lilith in Leo, we have to watch out for that ego. Oh my goodness. So yeah, our ego can be our own worst enemy. It can be our greatest protector, and it can be our biggest enemy. Again, harmony, everything in moderation. So we're having to, come into, um, it's like a coming to into who we are, and who we are, shining our light, shining our inner light, no matter what that may be. So Lilith will be in Leo from January the 8th to October the 3rd of 2023. So this is going to be an interesting ride, and please check in and watch the show on fringetv.online at 8 p.m. wherever you are in the world. And we will have the new AstroTarot show up, and we will talk about more things going on. I will say that there has been a lot of the powerful X flares that's happening. So that is amplifying the energy. So you be careful, headaches, fatigue, those, if you're very, very sensitive, those X flares can affect you. It affects our earth, so it will affect you. It is an energy. If energy is energy, then energy is energy. Now, many times it can give us body aches. It can make us feel like we have the flu. It can make us it can give us headaches. It did. I suffered from headaches last week because of these solar flares, and And I didn't really, I'm like, what is going on? I'm not really one that suffers from a lot of headaches. And it was just, I was having these headaches, and it was just like it was coming in waves. I could actually feel them in waves coming through, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And when I did some research, I did find out that these solar flares were happening, and this, whenever those happen, that does amplify the energy. So it can affect you in different ways. So if you're feeling this, if you are feeling a little down and out, just do those things to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself. I'm not saying go and abuse your body. I'm saying feed your body. Feed your body those things that it needs. Water. A lot of us are dehydrated and don't even realize it, because you were like, oh, I drink plenty of water. Yes, but how much caffeine, such as coffee, do you drink with that? So make sure that you are, hydrating very well, getting you some electrolytes. Make sure you're getting sleep, and make sure you're having darkness. Also, people who have trouble with sleep, sometimes getting up in the morning and gently looking at the sun as it's rising. I'm not talking about staring in the sun. Let's use some common sense. Just, glancing at that sun for a second, just a little glance, because it helps the cicada rhythm. So, these are things that we can do that are non-invasive, that can help us through these times. Breathing, just being present in your body, that really helps. There's small things we can do, and it's not crazy woo-woo stuff. It is stuff that has been used by our ancient ancestors. So they used it and found and had good luck with it, so it will work for us as well. So just remember, take care of yourself, nurture yourself. Cancer, we are getting ready to have a new moon in Aquarius, and our Cancer full moon was telling us that we need to nurture ourselves, where we need to nurture ourselves. So stay tuned for Wednesday, 8 p.m. on fringetv.online, and we'll talk about that Aquarius new moon and what that energy means to us as we are coming into the Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. So I will talk to you all then, and merry part till we merry meet again.